I think we're live. I think we are live. I'm going to wait a few moments to have this live kick in if it's not fully online quite yet. And then I'm going to begin. Welcome in. And if anybody, everybody, you're all welcome into this space right now. I don't go live on Substack very often, so this is both a curious experiment and a gathering space. This space is intended for people to gather and participate. So whether you watch this actually live or you eventually watch the recording of this, I welcome you in fully. It is, my goodness, it is so wonderful to offer a space to receive. And that's what we're here to do today. This is the opening ceremony of a group gathering I have named Receive Like a Mother. And why am I live on Substack? That's such a good question that nobody asked except my own self. I'm live to give you an opportunity. Oh, hi, Patricia. Welcome in. I'm live to give you an opportunity to see what happens behind the closed doors of a Zoom room, perhaps, and to offer this practice, because receiving is a practice, to offer it more openly and fluidly and to let it be known and seen by other people. So what is Receive Like a Mother? It's not a lecture. It's not even really a group space to hold an entire group. It's for you. It's for your own self to come and be. Your own presence is enough. There is no performing in this space. There's no optimizing. You don't have to earn your way into being here. It's just for you to be. And I really created this space because I don't really think we need more to do. I think we need more spaces that offer somewhat of an exhale, somewhat of nourishment for your own creative life, your own life in general. And so here's what's going to happen inside Like a Mother. This is, I'm calling the opening ceremony, the official start date. But every Wednesday for the next 6 weeks, if you want to sign up, you can sign up as you please. You can come and go. It doesn't matter. I will go live both on Substack and in a Zoom room to kind of keep the community container alive and contained and interactive in a group. I think that's important. But also live in Substack. So if you're not officially a part of Like a Mother, your energy is completely welcome here to join in. Every Wednesday for the next 6 weeks, we're going to practice receiving. And I do say practice because it is a practice no one taught, and rare to find teaching of. It's a practice that is mainly self-taught, and to allow ourselves to experience receiving takes somewhat of courage. And it's completely experiential. Like I said, it's a practice. I struggle to say business because it's so much more, and my language around my vocation and what I'm here to do has expanded so much more when I use Liberté, who in layman terms is my business. But when I say that is the spirit and I am just the vessel in which I'm able to do my work, that's what I mean. And Liberté, in essence, is experiential. It is for you to practice and experience something new in your body that may not be familiar. It's for you to know something, to experience, to know it, not just understand it with the mind, to move through something and to just understand the concept of it are two completely different things. And so we have to give ourselves permission to practice receiving. So for the next 45 minutes, maybe an hour, we're not going to fully get into a receiving practice. That will be for Wednesday. But I do just want to set the tone and open the space and kind of feel into like what is receiving? Why do so many of us have such a hard time receiving, and what types of things can happen when you fully surrender to the power that is receiving? So now that I've kind of set the tone of where we're going, I'm going to start with an invocation. It is a gorgeous prayer written by Tosha Silver, who's one of my teachers. And then we're going to spend 5 minutes in silence. And if you're tuning in right now, or if you're tuning into the live later on, this might be really comfortable for you. This might be like just really needed and really nourishing, these like 5 minutes of tuning in with yourself, or it might be an uncomfortable edge. So this is also a space to kind of explore where are your edges, where is something really, really needed, where are you uncomfortable, where are you maybe a little too comfortable, and can you just allow yourself to be with what is? That in essence is receiving. Can you just allow yourself to be with what is? So I'm going to open by just saying a prayer. And for anyone that might be, before I do this, for anyone that might be new to myself, which I did not even introduce myself, I'm Mindy. For anyone who might be new to my work or familiar but new to this own version of myself, I use prayer as a form of intention. The language I use is normalized for me, but also maybe really, really charged for other people. If prayer is not within your language, please do not let that get in the way of receiving these words. Let it be just an intention or an affirmation. Let the words work on you. Don't let semantics get in the way. And please stay open-minded to the entire experience. Divine Beloved, allow me to give with complete ease and abundance, knowing that you are the unlimited source of all. Let me be an easy, open conduit for your prosperity. Let me trust that all my own needs are always met in amazing ways, and that it is safe to give freely as my heart guides. And equally, let me feel wildly open to receiving. May I know my own value, beauty, and worthiness without question. Let me allow others the supreme pleasure of giving to me. May I feel worthy to receive in every possible way. Change me into one who can fully love, forgive, and accept myself, so I may carry your light without restriction. Let everything that needs to go, go. Let everything that needs to come, come. I am utterly your own. You are me. I am you. We are one. All is well. All is well. May we now just close our eyes and simply sit in 5 minutes of silence. Let those words linger and feel like warm honey. May those words just drip into your entire being. And may you sit with what is. Take an inhale through your nose and a deep sigh through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out. One last time, take a big breath in through your nose. Breathe out. And just begin to flutter your eyes open at your own time, at your own pace. What does it mean to receive like a mother? I named it this on purpose because there's the energy of what I refer to as the divine mother, the life force. And most people inside of my community, and I'm assuming most people on Substack, would consider themselves to have a creative profession or identify as a creative in and of itself. And to receive in line with the Divine Mother is to have a reciprocal sort of energy with not only your creative nature, but yourself. It's coming into complete wholeness and to not skip the part of restoring, hands up, doing nothing. We've been very conditioned to generate, especially now in the creator economy of producing just for the sake of producing or producing for an outcome. Very rare. It's so rare to have a space where we can just create for our own selves, or to be fed and nourished just for our own selves. And again, I go back to that is a skill, a lifeline, and something that is not taught. It was once something in my own life that felt like an afterthought. And now it's a non-negotiable. For anyone who is familiar with the work of the Artist Way, this could be considered the artist date. We're just all doing artist dates together in one cohesive time and space. But I think it's important to do that, to have that accountability with our own selves and with each other of we're going to create unattached. And that to me is the energy of the Divine Mother, to be unattached, but to also remain wide, wide open. It's a living paradox, but to put ourselves in the flow of life, this reciprocal kind of give and take, I find that we must really receive what is nourishing, not receive what we think we should have, or receive what we want to have, or receive what our parents have for us, or receive distracted, or receive with kids around, to receive but still checking emails. No, to like really take the time and space to nourish so that we can give completely unattached. Because giving with attachment, and when I say attachment, I mean wanting to be seen. I mean giving to be validated, giving to make money, giving to fill in the blank. There might still be a cord of attachment when you give, and that's not giving unattached. That's still giving a little conditionally. And so we bring ourselves back to center, back to complete wholeness in spaces like this where your presence is enough. That alone is enough. And then we also nurture or restore our creative lives so we can actually create with intention and create not with attachment. not with optimization, not with performance in mind, but we create for the sake of creation. I wrote out, I probably could have kept writing, but I'm going to show you. This page was getting almost filled completely up. And I want to read out what's invited into this space. This is a space, by the way, where there are no rules. Anything goes, anything's allowed, and anything is welcome. Obviously, here on Substack, there's no cameras, so you can be fully off camera doing whatever you choose to do when we convene on Wednesdays. And when in the Zoom space, you also don't have to have your camera on. No one needs to know what you're up to. No one needs to see what you're up to. You just need to be inside of your own life and be present inside of your own life for 60 minutes. 90 really, because the format is the reading of the prayer I just read, 5 minutes of silence, 20 minutes of free writing, and then we verb of our choice. We create of our choice. And I say verb of your choice because there are so many different ways to come to the same destination. There's many roads that lead just to the same space. And it may change week for week, week to week for you. And I find that freedom to explore and that freedom to check in week by week and say, what do I need today? What would be nourishing today? What would feed me today for these 60 minutes? I find that freedom in and of itself so nourishing. So here is a short list of moving meditations, creative practices that put you into the energy, the reciprocal energy of receiving. Receiving is a state, it's a frequency. And the more we practice being in receptive mode, the more we are given to. The more we practice being unattached but wide open, the more we are given to. And typically those gifts are beyond the scope of what we had in mind and way beyond the scope of even our imaginations. I'll share a story at the end of sharing these moving meditations. This is what is welcome in this space. This is just a list I wrote out quickly that just kind of flowed off the top of my mind. But truly, anything goes. And I would love to add your input of what I can add to this list. Writing and journaling, salsa dancing, dancing of any kind, collecting seashells or falling leaves or fresh flowers, painting, communing with trees, washing dishes, playing piano, gardening, napping, breathwork, swimming, walking, running, sitting and staring at the sky, wall, or piece of art, knitting, listening to music, handwriting a letter, cooking, eating a nourishing meal slowly, taking a bath, baking a pie, sitting in silence, sunbathing naked, and my favorite, absolutely nothing. This is a space where nothing is encouraged, and pleasure and play are also very much encouraged. That's how we receive, by pleasure, by play, by nourishment, and sometimes by doing nothing. Giving ourselves the permission to do nothing. How powerful is that? The question that I always bring in to this space am I feeding my own self? Like I said, am I feeding my own self so I can give unattached? And am I also feeding what just needs to be done? Am I in service of? Can I allow myself to open up and not only let a creative energy, a creative practice work through me, but can I just be in service of life itself? Can I give completely unattached to then receive? Unattached, but wide, wide open. On Easter Sunday, this is the story I have to share, which is just one of many. It was so hard to nail down an example or a specific story, because once you start practicing more often, you almost start to adopt the lifestyle of just being in reciprocity and seeing what comes in, detaching what comes out, just giving in constant flow. And when you practice often, that just becomes life. And life starts to feel really regenerative, really, really life-giving and restoring at all times. And I have many stories because I practice often what receiving is. But there is one that stands out among many because it was so utterly magical. And I don't use that word lightly. And I also don't use it like in dogma or contrarian sort of way. I truly mean opening yourself up to the unexplainable, to what is magic, what is so rare and also so sacred. Easter morning, I went to a service that was on the beach. I was in Florida at the time. And truth be told, it did nothing for me. It did absolutely nothing for me, but I really like to step in and out of some sort of religious places or ceremonies to, what I like to say, get the meat and leave the bones. And there was not a lot of meat in this service. So I left feeling just like, man, a little depleted. And it felt like the energy of the resurrection of Easter just was like so flat and didn't really have any sort of fullness or meaning to it. So later, after the service completed, I was with my mother and we stayed at the beach. We then just had a beach day. And from the car to the shoreline, it had like a little sandy path with like trees and whatnot. And it was full of garbage, just absolutely trashed with garbage. And I thought to myself, okay, if I can be in service today, what would be my own church service? What would I be in service to? How can I be in service back to my life, to this life, to this day? How can I make this day more holy? And how can I be in service to it? So I decided before I got in the water, before I was filled with pleasure, I was going to give back. So I got a paper plastic bag and I just started picking up trash. And I did not know how consumed I would be. Time just like left. I don't know if it expanded or contracted, but it definitely left. And I just started to just go around the entire bush area. I was like almost on my knees. I was also wearing white pants. I ruined my pants, but it felt like I was fully in service to the earth. And every piece of trash I picked up, which I filled that one plastic bag at least 5 times, dumped it back in the trash can, kept going. And I just kept filling it, filling it, filling it. And every time I pick something up, it's like I could feel the earth breathe. I could feel the earth become lighter. I could feel the earth saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And sometimes we have to do things that just need done. Sometimes to be in service too is to take care. And that felt beautiful and meaningful to me. It's not going to feel that way to everybody. Did I enjoy it? Not really. But did it mean something? Absolutely. And so I don't know even how long I was out there. Maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. I come back to the spot. I jump in the water. Oh, it's gorgeous. Then I spot some dolphins. It's mating season. Dolphins are out everywhere. And when I spot dolphins, I dive in the water and I go to them. And I just started for the rest of the day kind of following the dolphins along the shoreline, letting them come to me, letting me receive the beauty of life, letting me receive now the thank you. And at one point, the beach ended and there was a series of rocks that then turned into a little bit of private property. So I snuck around the rocks and just kind of sat with myself. And I heard a really big splash. My eyes were closed and I was just like kind of basking in the sun. I was in my own full moment of receiving. And I heard a really big splash. I assumed it was a fish. There were a bunch of flying fish out that day too. And it was a dolphin. I opened my eyes to a dolphin doing this 5 feet away from me, so close to the shoreline, closer than normal. And to be in awe of that moment, to witness that moment, and also to be open to receive the surprise of that moment. This is unattached, but wide, wide open. The most miraculous, beautiful, gorgeous, who even knows things can happen when we are in sort of a receptive state and continue to practice being in a receptive state. We are completely wide, wide open to the magic, miracle, mystery that is life. Scenarios that we could not even dream up, that could be once in a lifetime if we allow ourselves to pay attention and receive. And the most ironic thing about this moment, it was very private to me. I was the only one around. Yet at the edge of this rock where I kind of snuck around, took a few steps, sat on another rock, there was a woman who was, my phone's right next to me, so she was doing this. Not like this, taking a picture, not witnessing the moment. She was this. And it made me think how many miracles, how many gorgeous, beautiful moments are right here, if we open ourselves up to pay attention. If we are not preoccupied with this, if we are not preoccupied by not feeling enough, not having enough, not being enough, like all of the stuff that kind of just looms in the background and stops us from being nourished. What does it mean to really receive fully and wholly? To allow in those really special moments. How many special moments are just occurring all the time that our eyes are not open to? And can we open our eyes a little bit more and relax and soften a little bit more and trust that everything's all good? There's a massive piece of trust of being unattached and wide open, because that signals I trust the unfolding of what is. I can allow myself to be nourished with what is, and I can trust the unfolding of what is and will be. I don't need an outcome. I don't need to know where this creative process is going. Can I just create for the sake of creating because it feeds me? Because it feeds me. That's what we do inside of this space. Whether you are live, there are a few people live. I thank you for joining, truly. And if you are watching this recording after it goes live, I will be back on Wednesday, live on Substack, just to give you an idea of what I'm going to be doing. In no way, shape, or form, like I said, you bring what you want into the space and give yourself what you need in the space. I just got a giant, thick book of Bob Fosse. I'm just really interested in reading about his life. This is, like, obviously a very thick read, but I want to carve that space into my life. Something that has nothing to do with my work, something that just is complete pleasure and enjoyment to read about Bob Fosse. That's what I'm going to be doing in 60 minutes. And then we have 30 minutes before to settle into the space, to breathe a beautiful invocation into this space, to sit in silence for 5, and to free write for 20, and then verb of your choice, creative practice of your choice. And if that is nothing, so be it. May it be so. Thank you for tuning in. I think I don't know if this is actually going to be on the live recording. I don't know if the chat exists, but if you want to check out the full details of Receive Like a Mother, I'm going to drop it in the chat. I don't know if that's going to send after, so I will include it in whatever Substack sends after. But I also will be live, so you can join again live. Come and go as you please, and we are now on an exploration together for the next 6 months. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you Wednesday.